relates to the fourth industrial revolution, the minister mentioned. When I wrote the book about the fourth industrial revolution and conceptualized the idea of this revolution, I described 23 technologies. And at that time, only 5 years ago, many of those technologies were considered science fiction. Today, they all have become realities and new technologies.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together, and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
I'm not going to say this entirely taints crypto. Bitcoin is a separate category of crypto than what this gentleman was using. I can imagine that Bitcoin might be the last person standing, and I know this not from my own base of knowledge, but from speaking to those who are knowledgeable. Cynthia Lummis, the senator from Wyoming, is an expert on all this, and so I think there's a future for it. The markets will decide, but clearly, folks have gone into this kind of with eyes closely shut, ignoring some fundamentals beneath it, and that's not the way you should enter into any business transaction.
He demanded the CFTC be his only regulator, not the SEC, that the CFTC alone would directly, only them would clear his company's crypto trades, no middlemen, no guardrails, no intermediaries. He wanted to use algorithms rather than brokers to help clear trades.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we don't hear the mainstream media talking about the fourth industrial revolution. They don't even speak of the word. But we recently had G20, and we know Klaus is from the World Economic Forum. And they don't hide anything. We know what Bitcoin is for. The robots, algorithms, and drones. And we know Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX was on a mission. They were doing a test. And we know the collapse is going to bring on the New World Order's regulation. And all the tests are done. Now it's time to flip the switch where everything's going to be moving at the speed of light. And we know the sheep are going to be going inside the metaverse. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
I think the big thing here is he wasn't using at the core of his business the tools that make cryptocurrency possible, the things that make systems transparent. He's really a Web 2 company facilitating transactions for Web 3 or cryptocurrencies. And I think one of the things we need to see here is that migration to really eating our own dog food. Enough of this Web 2, time for Web 3, real decentralized systems with absolute transparency, automated market makers, all of that. And for those businesses that are still Web 2 like his was, I think we do need regulation. I think we need to know that they are not, commingling customer funds, not leveraging customer funds. At this point, this is, as was stated, the biggest, most negative event we've seen. And every day a new shoe seems to drop. Other counterparties are imploding as a result of what happened here. I would as well compare them to Enron.
Right. And then we've got the news of this $477 million hack. In your view, how does that play into the chain of events here?
Another one of these, bombshells that seem to be dropping every day. It's like just when you think this can't get worse, oh, look, they've done another thing that is incredibly alarming. I mean, how, when you're filing for bankruptcy, do hundreds of millions of dollars or $1 billion or $2 billion disappear? Yeah. Is it an inside job? It's just
something that we really could be providing clarity around. I think the approach we've taken so far has been one that hasn't been focused properly, but I'm hopeful that maybe this will help us think more clearly about that.
Flashing light signs that SEC Chair Gary Gensler has put out. He has obviously been very concerned. He was the one who originally called many of the cryptocurrencies out there and the entire space the Wild West. Charlie Gasparino here at Fox Business had reported that Chair Gensler had a 45-minute Zoom call with the former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried just about a month ago, or several months ago, before he filed for bankruptcy. You know, given the timing of that, how much discussion is going on right now at the SEC about why that happened? Do you have any insight at all on that?
I can't speak to meetings that Chair Gensler has, but what I can say is that it is important for us to make these decisions about regulatory structure in as open and transparent a method as possible. And so going forward, I hope what we can do is take a step back and have everyone come in and talk to us in a way that maybe at a round table where people can interact with each other. And I think that will help to produce the best regulatory.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends. So therefore, we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.